Hello, beautiful people from all over the world. Welcome to the first interview of one of the co-authors of the upcoming book, How to Find Yourself, a guide on how to practice self-love, boost self-confidence, find your voice, and use it authentically. The book will be launching July 15th as paperback and as Amazon ebook. I am the moderator, Dr. Laura Götz, and I am a medical doctor, an author, and a mindfulness therapist for women in all stages of life, committed to making a positive impact in women's health on a daily basis. In January 2021, I approached 10 amazing mental health professionals with a book project aimed at helping women reconnect with their authentic self so they can live happy and healthy lives. Joining me today is the first contributor to the book, Connie-Lee Bennett, an amazing psychologist and life coach, speaking to us from Paris. Hello, Connie.
Hey, thank you so much, Laura, for this great opportunity. I'm excited to be here. I'm really honored to be one of the authors in what I know you guys are going to love as an amazing self-help book. So thank you for this great opportunity.
Very happy to have you here, Connie.
I think the pleasure is all mine.
Yes, and I do believe that everybody can really learn something from our experience also as authors, as life coaches, and also from our own stories that we have discussed in the book. Now,
Absolutely.
let us go into this interview because I bet a lot of people are waiting to know more about you. You are already a best-selling author. A lot of people all over the world know you. You have worked with thousands and thousands of people, helping them really become speakers on stage. So now I am inviting you to tell us a little bit about yourself, something miscellaneous maybe, but also, of course, about your day-to-day work.
Thank you, Laura. I just love how you introduced me. I love how you see me and the vision of what you're sharing. That's really awesome. Thank you, Laura. I'll tell you a secret that not many people know. Who I am, if you really want to know who the real Connie is, you have to come back to when I was a teenager. And I remember one moment where I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the movies in my pajamas. And when I say teenager, it's actually coming back to me. You know, I was in my early 20s. I was at university. And my best friend and I, we decided we were going to go to the cinema in our pajamas. Now, why, you are asking? Well, it's because I had this thought in my head where I was just sick and tired of worrying what people thought of me. And I think from a very, very young age, I've always had this conversation in my head, which was I needed to pretend to be somebody different so that you will like me. Look, you know, this is a common thread throughout the chapter, so I'm excited for you guys to read it. But that's who I really am, is somebody who wants to show up authentically as me. And this has been my journey throughout all my different experiences. So who is the real Connie? And who I am is somebody who has a vision of creating a world where everyone feels free to show up to the cinema in their pajamas if they want to, right? Where people feel free to fully express all of who they are, whether that's with makeup, no makeup, you know, in their, I don't know, we just find ourselves, myself included, in so many boxes. And this is who I imagine, this is the world that I'm imagining creating, is a world where everyone feels free to fully express all of who they are. And that's really my soul's purpose, is to find that freedom, find that peace within myself where I can be that for me. And how I'm offering this as a service to the world is, like you mentioned, I'm an international public speaker, award-winning, psychotherapist. I've created a holistic public speaking academy where we look at supporting leaders who want to fully express all of who they are on the center stage of their life, where they want to connect with their truth, discover who the real them is, finding their voice, their true voice, not the voice of society, and then using that voice to make an impact, to make a difference on the stages around the world, either stages around their world or standing on the center stage of their lives, making a difference and being a role model for themselves and for their families. So that's a little bit about who I am. Thank you. Great question, because who are you, as you know, is the very first question I ask people who work with me. So I love it. My favorite question to answer.
Yes, it is a top 5 question when I talk to all of the life coaches, because it is a very simple one, but also very difficult to answer in a world where everybody's trying to be like, you know, the next supermodel, the next VIP, the next Hollywood movie. And at one point you truly forget who you are. And that is where a lot of problems start, right? And that is why we, all of us, the 11 authors of the How to Find Yourself book, this is why we've written our chapters, and we're trying to motivate women, you know, to accept themselves for who they are, to love themselves, and thus be more happy and healthy. Now, I really loved how you wrote your chapter, because it is outstanding and it is quite different.
Thank you.
In comparison. You know, Connie, you are outstanding. You know, you are very special.
I received that. Thank you so much, Laura. Bring it. Stop it, Laura. Stop it. Stop it.
No, like,
tell me more. Tell me more.
I'm not
How am I outstanding?
I'm not trying to kiss up to you or to all of the other ladies, which of course everybody has written something unique, amazing, and that is what is so special about this book, is that you will read 11 amazing life stories, and then the readers will say, okay, their lives have also not been, you know, all pink, not just butterflies and unicorns. You know, their lives have been just like mine, but look, they have managed to go over, you know, their past and learn from it and become stronger and stronger. So, like I said, you have a very special chapter in this book. You are trying to, you know, teach people how to use their voice to make an impact. And this is a real problem in today's society, especially for women who have learned, you know, since centuries and millennia, actually to shut up and to learn their place and not speak up. So this is very important to let women know that they should use their voice and that their voice matters. So Connie, I am very curious, why did you choose to contribute to this book when I approached you about it? And why did you write about this specific topic, about how to use your voice to make an impact?
Great question. So one of the things that when you get to know me, those of you who are listening, you know, when you get to know me, you'll know that I really believe that we're a spiritual being having a human experience. And why I say that is because I really believe that every one of us has a specific soul's purpose. We have a specific, unique purpose that we're here to grow into. And this is our purpose. This is why we're here in this lifetime on earth, whatever it is that you believe. So why did I choose to contribute to this book? Because I really believe that every experience in your life is an opportunity for you to grow. And when you know what your soul's purpose is, you know what you're here to grow into. So the first thing that's really important when it comes to writing a book, and this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to be a part of this, is because I know that every person who's written a chapter in this book is sharing about their story, their growth, what they have experienced. And this is really amazing because they show up authentically. They show up as who they are. They're saying, this is me, right? I'm not ashamed. I want to be brave. I want to fully express my voice. So the vision of this book was something that resonated with me straight away, because I really believe that we're here to grow. Like me, I'm here to grow to finding the courage to express that which is my voice. And as a spiritual being, we know that we're growing. And once we have learned and experienced, once we have learned and we've grown into a deeper version of ourselves, in order for us to feel fulfilled, we then need to contribute. Like Tony Robbins says, the only way for us to feel fulfilled is to grow and then to contribute through our growth. So it's like you were saying, Laura, you know, in life, what a lot of us are doing is we're trying to copy the divine flow of somebody else. This is a great quote by Joe McLean. He says, if you're trying to copy the divine flow of somebody else, you will never find your divine flow. So we are growing, and we need to, through our experiences, share that with other people, right? And that's why I wanted to share in this book, because you said to me, Connie, I'd love for you to be a part of this journey. And I said, okay, sure. You know, thank you, universe, for giving me this opportunity where I can allow the inner me to be expressed. It's like as you're growing deeper and connecting more with yourself, your next step then is to allow that expression outside of you. So I really, in answer to your question, I'm so honored and humbled to be a part of this project, because number one, we're all understanding that in order to make a difference, we need to share our unique voice, and our unique voice comes from our story, and all the ladies wanted to do that. And secondly, I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to be like, okay, world, this is me. I want to feel free now. I want to show up as me. I know that if you're listening to this and you resonate with my message, you're going to jump on the link below in the comments section. You're going to, you're going to buy the book, because you know that my message is something you resonate with and you want to learn more from me. So that's maybe a long answer to your question, but that's really why I wanted to be a part of this. I was drawn to the vision that you, Laura, you're amazing. It's been such an honor working with you. I highly recommend you and your publishing house to anyone who wants to write a book. And it's just been an amazing journey of connection with wonderful women.
Oh, again, compliments over compliments. I do believe that we should all learn to do that, ladies. As women, we don't compliment each other enough, we are a little bit jealous, I do believe, but this is how we grow. We give ourselves the high five, and Connie is doing this amazingly, and she's being herself, and she has realized that she has to express herself. She feels gratitude, she will say that, and I do believe we should listen to ourselves more, and then grow into these amazing people that we want to become, right? So I am also very excited to hear your thoughts after you have read Connie's chapter, because there are so many special things inside, so many treasures, and I do want to hear from the ladies and the men who are going to read it, that they have that their eyes have been opened, and now they have the courage to express themselves freely, and thus experience true happiness in the world. Because freedom, this is how we experience happiness, if we can be who we are, and not hide anymore from the rest of the world. And Connie, you already said a couple of things, about your life story, and that you mentioned some aspects, of your journey in the book. And this is actually, the salt and pepper of every chapter from all the 11 ladies, because you get to find out something, spicy from their lives, even, the lows, but also the ups in their life, and how they turned the bad experiences into good experiences. Now, I want you to tell us an anecdote from your life, that is very representative to this chapter, and that will make the audience really relate to what you are trying to say, your message, because I know we're going to have people that already have had a little bit of training, of mindfulness training, a little bit of life coaching, and they can relate very fast to you, but also newbies into this new world of self-development, who don't really understand how important it is to have your own voice and to express it freely. So I'm very curious to find out, to hear another story from your life.
I'm wondering, Laura, if you've heard this story before. This isn't in the chapter, but I thought I would share a little something that happened to me recently, let's say COVID period, because it's a little bit more recent. And I know a lot of you who are listening or watching this are maybe businesswomen who are maybe wanting to be leaders. You're wanting to connect more with who you authentically are, finding your voice, not the voice of society, and you want to use your voice to make an impact. So this story is for you. Now, I had the absolute honor for about 3 years to be a radio show host for an amazing radio program, or I don't know what you call them, radio program, like radio station is the word that I'm looking for, hashtag authentic moment. And I mean, I loved it. I really love expressing my voice. But the journey on the radio show was, when you're presenting yourself on stage or in front of the boardroom, or you're doing, when you're in front of people, it's that biggest reflection of, oh my gosh, who am I and who do I need to be for you to accept me? So I tried lots of different personalities. Now, in hindsight, I am able to express this, but when I was going through the experience, I didn't know. So I was trying to discover, well, who is Connie? So if you don't know who you are, then you can't really express your unique voice. So that's really one of the first steps I speak about in my chapter. I speak about the 12 steps that you and I will work on if we work together to find your voice and make an impact in the world. So the first step is really discovering who you are. And I didn't really know who I was, because this was about 4 years ago that this was happening. So I was lots of different personalities. If you listen to some of the radio shows 3 years ago, you're like, okay, Connie, what's going on with you? So I was really experimenting and discovering who I was. And when you don't know who you are and you're not grounded in the awareness and the confidence and the belief in yourself, then you're kind of influenced, aren't you? You're like a tree. You're like flowing from one side to another in like this massive wind.
You are trying to be likable, I think.
Yeah.
I think you have no idea which version will be likable, so you try a lot of different things. And
absolutely.
One question: did you do an accent? Did you notice that?
I mean, I don't even remember what I was doing, and I think it's such a beautiful story because I was going, like you said, trying lots of different things, and maybe I was trying to pretend to be friend. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, as the radio show evolved in its evolution, I found that I started to become a particular personality, a particular character. Now, the thing is, the more you think something, the more you act in a particular way, the more conditioned it becomes. And you begin to think that those of you who know Dr. Joe Dispenza, about psychology, you know that the more you think something, it then creates a action. That action then becomes a behavior. That behavior then becomes conditioned, and it often becomes your personality. So after 3 years, I created a personality that was so far from who I authentically was. And what the universe does is like, okay, Connie, it's like knock, knock, Connie, you're not being you. Knock, knock, Connie, you're not being you. I didn't hear it. So the universe is like, okay, I'm going to give you a bit of a crisis. I'm going to make something happen. And, if you want to hear the full undisclosed version, then definitely connect with me and I'll tell you the full undisclosed version. But eventually what happened was that I was asked to leave the radio show because I had said something that was a little bit inappropriate, a little bit not in alignment with what it was that I wanted to be. But I said it because I thought I had to say it. I had become so conditioned to this personality that I ended up saying things that I thought you wanted me to say. But afterwards, I was like, okay, the station manager called me up. He's like, Connie, this is just not working out. And in that moment, yes, I felt that ego, like, oh my God, I'm wrong. There's something wrong with me. What have I done? How can they do this? But after 3 days of reflection, I realized that actually it was the biggest gift because I had completely become somebody else. And I realized, this is one of the things that I now incorporate in my trainings is it is that process of discovery. You don't know until you know. And the only way you learn is through contrast. And that was a great gift because it taught me about who it was that I wanted to be and how I wanted to show up in the world. And yes, every time I present myself, for example, on this interview, when I'm on stage, when I'm on TV, whatever it is that I'm doing, every opportunity of presenting yourself is a gift for you to connect more deeply with who you're wanting to be in the world.
I really love this story. Wow. And it really made me think again, Connie, because every lady in this book mentioned such a story when, the universe gives you a crisis, so you learn, so you go back to your roots, it's like a slap in the face. But it is also the best gift that you can get, because as long as you think you're doing everything fine, nothing is ever going to change, right? You're still going to keep making the same mistakes if other people don't tell you that they're not as nice as you think. So this is what a lot of the readers will learn from this book, that life doesn't have to be, just 100% happiness. It is okay to have these down moments, because through them you do grow into the next version of yourself, an evolved version of yourself. And people want to reach nirvana. This is how you do it. You have to walk through these experiences and learn, and then become wiser and learn to appreciate life and yourself even more. So I know I related to what you said, trying to be the person that everybody else expects, trying to be a false perfect version of yourself. There is no perfection. And I do believe, and I wrote it in a book as like a golden rule: as long as you do what your heart tells you, you will never be wrong. Maybe it will not be the best decision ever. Maybe in hindsight, oh, that was not very nice of me. But it came from you. It came from your heart. And we have to live with this and learn from everything that we do. So I do believe a lot of people have maybe not the exact same story, but something similar, and they are they're going through this, definitely. So thank you very much till now, Connie, for sharing from your experience, from your personal life. And now I would like to do something practical, because the people that listen to us, maybe they're falling asleep. Who knows when they're listening to us? I know we are very interesting, but now I want to make them think, really see, the power of life coaching, the power of your work, the power of your exercises, because I have been and I am part of your training academy, and I love it because it is something completely different. And you motivate us to do so many things, and I have grown a lot thanks to you, Connie. So heartfelt thank you now and forever.
Thank you.
For this amazing journey. And now I would like you to share with the audience, your best tip or your best exercise when it comes to, your way of working with clients, of the Connie way of life coaching, because I want the audience today to get, maximum value from this interview and really feel how it is to be, transformed after just a little bit of time, a little bit of life coaching with you.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Laura, and I'm going to ask you, what was your favorite exercise? It just came to me. Let me ask Laura, what was your favorite exercise?
This is a good technique, for everybody who's listening. If you are a speaker on stage, and you're all up in your head, just give, the power and the responsibility to the audience. And then you're out. Then you don't have anything to do, but, ask the questions and the people have to answer. So very, very good technique, Connie. Yeah. So what I really loved were your meditations and your hypnosis. So this is very transformational. And what I've learned from you, and now what is actually part of my own life coaching method, Femindipity, is actually talking to your future self. So I do believe that we all dream of this version, you know, our future selves. We dream of a future where when we will be happy, when we will be powerful, when we will be successful. But this is what is happening. We are just dreaming, you know, about that fictional person, but we're not doing anything at the time, you know, to become that person. And this is what I've learned from you. Do something every day that will help you transform into that future version of yourself. Because if we want to lose, 20 pounds, we're not going to do it if we just sit on the couch. But if we run, 10 minutes every day, we are more likely to achieve that version of ourselves. So this is one exercise that I do recommend that everybody does, and maybe Connie will give us a meditation on it that will really help us feel how it truly feels to be that person, and really give us the motivation and be like, oh my God, this is not just an image in my mind, but it's also a feeling. And I want to feel like that every day, not just look it, but also feel it, because in the end, it is about what we feel. This is what drives us, feel happiness or love, or anger. They're just feelings. And they're the most important part of us. So Connie, what would you recommend to the listeners? Should they approach you for this meditation, or do you have any other resources that they can discover on your website?
What a lovely idea. What I would love to offer you guys who are listening, and there's a couple of ways that you can do it. If you like what Laura said, then I know you will love and really find the meditation valuable. So what I'm going to offer you is actually an hour and a half, this guided meditation. And I have it recorded separately. So what I'm willing to do is I'm actually willing to offer it to you as a gift. And it's actually one of the modules in my Authentic Leadership Training Program. And I'm going to offer it as a gift to all of you. And how you can get that is, you can click on the link below. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you are, we're in a world of social media, or just simply send me a personal message on Instagram or Facebook with the word meditation. If you send me the word meditation between now or in a year's time or 20 years time, I will send you a recording of this meditation, because Laura so beautifully explained it. And I know that you'll find it valuable, because like Laura said, one of the things that I say in the meditation is, imagine waking up tomorrow morning. And before you even open your eyes, what you do is of course, there's a lot that comes before it, but the question that you ask yourself is, what would that future me think in this moment? What would that future me eat for breakfast? What would they wear? And you ask yourself, how can I be that future me today versus do the future you? Because we often get so stuck, like Laura was saying, in the doing. Doing for me is like pretending or acting, or versus being the energy of that version of you. Remember that it's not what you do that makes people connect with you, that makes people like you. It's who you are and how you make them feel. And that comes from the energy. So if you're wanting to become that future version of yourself, if you're wanting to be speaking on stages, or if you're wanting to be a life coach, if you want to be happy, if you want to have your own home, or be a CEO of your own company, you want to bring in the energy of that person. And we do all of this in the guided meditation. Remember, just ping me meditation in a PM on Insta or on Facebook, and I'll send it to you. But it's about bringing in that and asking, what would that future me be thinking in this moment? And you can't get away from that. Just a little quick story. I remember yesterday, Laura, it's so funny you talk about exercise, because it's like, oh man, I just really don't feel like exercising. And I was in the past me, and I was in awareness that it was my past ways of thinking. And then I was like, okay, fine. What would that future version of me who, is size 12, she's traveling around the world and she's got a suitcase in her hand, what would she be doing? And I was like, oh man, she would be going for a run right now. So I still use this exercise in my personal life as well. So it's a really beautiful one. What would that future version of you think, feel, dress like before you open your eyes tomorrow? This is what I invite you to do.
That is an amazing exercise, and I hope everybody does this so they can experience, that there is more to life than what they have experienced till now. If you do, work with the right people, you can exponentially improve everything, every aspect in your life, that you were more healthy, more happy, that you improve your relationship with your husband, your partner, with your children at work, and so on. So not just personally, but also professionally, if you work on that, if you have that desire to become, the next version of yourself. Yeah, Laura 2021 to Laura 2020, who knows? Yeah. This is very important, especially in Corona time, when I felt like, a year and a half has gone, but I feel like I'm stuck in March 2020. Because you do feel as if
So true.
Nothing special happened when you are inside and you're not allowed to go out. But life keeps going. So thank you very much, Connie, for this amazing interview.
Thank you.
Do you have any last words before I complete this amazing chat?
Sure, putting me on the spot. Last word, you're asking me for a mic drop moment. Awareness is your superpower. It's not what you do that's important, but it is how you respond to each event. Remember that everything that you experience is that gift to teach you about where you're in alignment and where you're not in alignment. There's no wrong, there's no right, there's only that which honors you. So my last thought is, imagine if every time you were to experience a situation, you were to ask yourself, what is the situation teaching me about how I can fully express myself more and how I can stand on the center stage of my life? Thank you, Laura.
Thank you very much for that message, Connie. So awareness is your superpower. I hope we all live with this for the rest of our entire lives, because it is truly a powerful message. Thank you very much to all of our listeners. This has been Connie-Lee Bennett, interviewed by Dr. Laura Götz, and we have talked a little bit about our upcoming book, How to Find Yourself, a guide on how to practice self-love, boost self-confidence, find your voice, and use it authentically. That will be launched on the 15th of July in paperback and as Amazon ebook. Thank you for listening to us, and I'm inviting you all to join us on our second interview tomorrow with our second co-author, when we will be talking about healing trauma from our past. It is going to be amazing, with Amelia from Norway. So talk to you then. Have an amazing evening. All the love in the world. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Laura. Big hugs, everyone. Bye.